What's up, guys? In this video, we're going to be looking at the top penny stocks that you guys are watching and the top penny stocks that I'm watching. I'm going to be going over exactly these three stocks. I'm also going to show you guys exactly how to read and understand basic chart patterns using candlesticks. So I'm going to give you just a basic introduction of how to do that because I had a question in my previous video about that. So I'm going to explain it to you guys in detail and give you an introduction and also go over the stocks that you guys wanted me to watch and to go over on these videos on the next video. So guys, so make sure you stay tuned. I'm going to be going over these stocks. Now let's get right into the video. Alright guys, so before we get into the video, make sure you like the video. Let's try to get to 200 likes. I'd really appreciate it if you have any questions. Make sure you drop it in the comment section below and I'll go over your questions and trying to respond to your questions as soon as possible, guys. So anyway, the first stock that we're going to be looking at is going to be XSPA. So this is the chart for XSPA. So just to show you guys a brief introduction of candlestick patterns and the charts, just how to read it. This is exactly what you want to look for. So as you can see over here, this is basically what a candlestick is, so this, as you can see over here, this is a green candlestick. And if it's a green candlestick, the close price is going to be higher than the open price. So as you can see over here, this is the open price. So the price actually closed above this price point. So it closed above that. So the color of it is going to be green. You can actually set the default colors and things, adjust it. But the majority of the time, if you're using different platforms, to indicate a bullish day, they're going to be used green. And the candlesticks also indicates exactly the high and the low that it made. So it shows you the daily range of that specific day. That is really, really important to look at. If the stock actually was super volatile, if it went high and low, it will show you exactly that. And also, if you see kind of a red candle, as I said, it doesn't really have to be, you can adjust the colors, but usually red indicates that it was kind of a bearish day. That means, the stock sold off. So the open price was over here and it closed right over here. So it went below that price point. So that is going to be a bearish day, and it also indicates the high and the low. So these candlesticks, will indicate exactly different time periods. So as you can see over here, I'm looking at SPA chart, and I'm looking at the daily chart. So this is showing us exactly the 1 day price action. As you can see over here, today was June 16. So it's going to show us exactly when the price opened, when the price closed. As you can see over here, it's red, so it's indicating that the closing price was lower than the open price. So that is exactly what it says. So it opened at around $5.55 and it closed at $5.35. So as you can see over here, it's indicating exactly the $5.35. And this huge, as you can see over here, that means when you look at the chart, as you can see, this day was pretty huge. It opened, it gapped up significantly to the open price of $5.76, and it just went down to around $7, and eventually it closed at around $7.11, as you can see over here. It also shows you exactly the open and close price over here. If you're using different chart services or different platforms, so it probably will show you exactly. But this is really important to understand exactly using candlesticks to understand how the day and how price moved throughout the day. You can also use it as for 5 minute, 1 hour. So these are all the time frames that you can adjust and you can use. Let's say, for example, if I open for 5 minutes, so you can also change it to 5 minutes. So I changed it to this for 5 minutes. So each of these candlesticks is indicating a 5-minute session. So within that 5-minute period, the price open, it's going to show you where the price opened, where it closed, the high and the low. So it shows you the range right over here. If I pick this 5-minute session that it had, because it's kind of like bigger, and it will just explain to you exactly when price opened, where's the high, where's the low. And you can see that within those 5 minutes, it was super bullish. And you can also look at the volume over here at the bottom, So this is just a basic introduction of candlesticks. You can also do some other research on your own, but this is just how to understand it. And I'm going to explain. If you want more tutorials like this, I'm going to be making it, but this is exactly how you can read it. And it's better than the line charts, because when you're using a line chart, it doesn't really show you anything specifically about what happened, either if there is a lot of supply or demand that day, if there is a lot of selling happen or a lot of buying happen and things like that. So it's really important to actually use the Japanese candlesticks, and they're also specific, for example, dojis, there are other specific, patterns that you can look at exactly with the candlesticks. You can do more research on them to see specifically if price will fluctuate, will go down, will go up using these patterns. So these are really important to learn if you're serious about trying to understand, or if you want to, day trade, swing trade, or even invest. You can actually pick a good price point to get involved in it. But that's basically the basic introduction of candlesticks. So now let's move on to the stocks that we're watching. So anyway, guys, so the first penny stock that we're going to be looking at is going to be XSPA. So this company is actually in airlines, so there are a lot of airlines out there. So there are a lot of terminals out there. So there's a lot of XSPAs in these terminals. And what they said with their press release, and they came out and they told people that they're going to be starting to test for COVID-19 for people that are working in the airlines. Let's say, for example, pilots, the hostesses, and things like that. So they're going to be allowing people, they're going to be starting tests within their spa, not only giving massages and things like that. So they're going to be transforming, some of their areas to a testing area. So that is an important thing to do since we're back on and the economy is reopening. People are starting to travel and things like that. So you need to definitely keep an eye on this stock. And because of that news, it kind of spiked up to around $6 area, and it's kind of pulled back significantly to the downside, and the volume also increased due to that specific news that it came out. But however, since there's a lot of cases spiking up around the globe, around the US and things like that, so there needs to be a lot of testing needs to be done. So this company can definitely keep an eye on it because it's really important. So, and also the other thing, when you look at the technical analysis for the stock, as I showed you over here, this is the price point that it broke down. It's kind of holding one of, the price points that it broke out of, so we can use this area as a support, which is $4. So if things, if there's needs to be a lot of testing done, if the airlines are get back on and people are going back into the airlines and traveling and things like that, that means there needs to be a lot of testing done for those people that travel a lot. So this company can definitely benefit, and it can potentially, if there's some good news come up, it can definitely spike up. But the area that I'm looking at, it's going to be $4. So this is going to be the area if like the breaking point that I'm going to be using. So if it goes below this price point, I'm not going to be looking at to get involved in this stock, but it keeps continuing to hold above these price points and to consolidate, then there's going to be a good potential for it to kind of even respike to the highs that it had over here. So it's a good risk to reward. You can have like your stop below $4 and your profit target around for a quick trade for a 5 or 10% return for this stock. So that's going to be the first stock that we're going to be looking at. So the second stock, before we go into the second stock, guys, make sure you like the video. If you have any questions, drop it in the comment section below. Let's get to 200 likes. I really, really appreciate it, guys. So the second stock that we're going to be looking at is going to be SRNE. So SRNE is also one of the stocks that I covered on the penny stocks, penny stock companies that are involved in any kind of creating vaccines, treatments for the COVID-19. So I covered it on that specific video. You guys can go check out all those companies. There are still companies that are working day and night to try to figure out and find solutions for this current pandemic. So I like this stock because it kind of is holding the price point that it broke out of, which is the $4 area. Since it had this huge move and it went back down to where it broke out, now it's kind of holding. So this is a good risk to reward, even though there's not news of how they're progressing with these stocks, how they're the vaccines are coming up and things like that, the therapeutical situations or treatments that they're working on. Even though they didn't release any kind of press release related to that, since it's kind of holding the $4 price mark, I like it. And if they say it's something positive, you better believe that it's going to spike. So there's going to be a good risk to reward, and it's kind of at the support area right around over here too. If it holds above the $5 area, if it stays above the $4 area within this price range, any kind of news or any kind of thing within this entire sector of COVID-19 vaccine treatments, it's going to definitely spike up. So it's super good risk to reward, and the share of the float of this company is not relatively that much lower. If it was lower, it would be good for it to spike up significantly, but still it's better. And also, the insider ownership of this company, institutional ownership, it's like 16.4%. So it's still a lot of, retail investors are buying and holding the stock, so that is one of the things that we're going to be looking at. So keep an eye on it at SRNE for a potential spike if these cases keep rising and some treatments rising up. So also, now let's move on to the third stock, guys. So before we move on to the third stock, make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe if you're new to the channel, and if you have any questions, make sure you drop it in the comments section below, guys. So anyway, the third stock is going to be HEXO. Now this company is also involved in the fighting the COVID-19 pandemic that we're experiencing right now. Since the chart is kind of lower, I'm going to show you guys over here. So this is also one of the stocks that kind of broke out. It's kind of holding above the price point that it broke out of. So this is going to be the key area that we're going to be looking at. It's kind of approaching, the 90, 80 cents, 89 cents area. So this is the price point that it broke out of, and it's kind of retraced. It went down to this price point. So this is a good risk to reward. So I always look at what is the risk. If you can risk like 10, 20 cents to potentially make, 30 or 40 cents if it spikes up to the upside, and that is good risk to reward, So this company, however, it's kind of approaching, the area that it broke out of right around over here. So if it stays above that, I can get involved in it. So, and I'm going to be risking this price point over here, and my stop loss is going to be right around over here. And if it goes below this price point, there's higher probability of it just going down. So I'm not going to be able to just hold it and just bag hold it until it goes to that price point. I'm just going to get out of here. But if this entire sector sees any kind of positive news and things like that, these stocks can go up. And there's a lot, as I mentioned before in these previous videos, there's a lot of cases of spiking up a lot, so keep an eye on these specific stocks. That's why I'm keeping an eye on it. So if in the price target, I'm looking for it to just kind of retest some of the highs that I made over here of like $1.20. So I'm risking like really, really small amounts, for it to spike up that point. So that is a good risk reward. I'm looking at it, but it's more looking like that's trending down. I have multiple red days, so just wait for it. Just keep an eye on it, guys. So now let's move on to the stocks that you guys wanted me to check out on the previous video. You left a comment of lots of stocks that I need to check out for you guys. So the first stock that we're going to be looking at is going to be FAMI. So this is one of the subscribers drop in the comment section below for me to check it out. So this stock basically just broke out, and it really just did not hold. It was just spiked up one day and just went down, so there's really not really an area where you can risk off of, or if you actually got involved in it right when it spiked up, or it just really went down, so it's like, okay, maybe if it starts to trend up and it breaks out of this area, maybe we can risk this area anticipating a breakout, but it just went up and down really quickly. So it's also like a food retail company. So yeah, I'm not sure what to do with this company. So, but just keep an eye on it if you like it. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure what your plan is, but I don't see any potential trade for this stock. So the other stock that you guys really are watching is going to be Solo. So Solo is really solid company, guys. Not solid in the penny stock, but I'm looking at it solid. It has a solid pattern. So it's kind of broke out of this price point, and it's kind of holding and it's bouncing back up. So this is really, it has potential. As you can see over here, this is a good risk reward range over here. So because the lower over here, it's like the price point that it broke out is like $1.50. And if it can potentially spike up again, it can retest the high of like $3. So let's just wait for it. Right now, it's like right in the middle of exactly of it. So the risk reward is going to be off. But if it kind of pulls back a little bit to this price point, it's potential to gap up. To kind of risk this price point area, and potentially, your profit targets is going to be over here. But however, if it kind of goes down again and it goes back up a little bit and breaks out of this area too, we can use this area as a support area too, if it can kind of base out and make a higher low, so a little higher low, so it makes right over here, then we can use this area. But right now it's kind of like right in the middle. You can still kind of get involved in it by risking 50 cents to make $1, which is good to risk reward potential, but I'm still keeping an eye on it for a pullback. But this is a good company to watch because the volume is also kind of not dying down, and some green days are kind of coming up a little bit, the volume. So yeah, just keep an eye on it. So now the other stock that The other stock is also in the shipping sector, which is SHIP. So this is also one of the other stock. At least this stock is kind of holding some of the areas that it broke out of, so we can clearly risk off of the area that it broke out of. So if you're still involved in it, if you want to get involved, risking off of like a 15-cent area, potential for it to spike up to 22 cents. This is good risk reward. You can place your stop over here for a potential spike up to that price point. So it's still on this ship. And this is an energy. Okay, sorry, this energy sector. So this is an energy stock. So yeah, the energy stocks have been bouncing. I covered 3 penny stocks to look at on the energy sector. They're actually up significantly. Some of them up 5%, some of them up like 3, 4, 6%. So you guys can check out the other video. So the energy sector is definitely dependent upon also the price of oil, so you need to keep an eye on that one. And the other stock that you guys want to watch, that you guys left on the comment section below to check it out, is going to be CLIR. So this electronic technology, electronic equipment, instrument sector. So it's up a lot, like with a lot of volume. So just keep an eye on it for a pattern, for it to form for the next 2-3 days. If it keeps holding and if it stays above that price point, some of the price point that it had over here, then it's pretty good. However, right now it's still just in the middle of nowhere, so that is something you want to look for. You don't have any potential areas that you want to risk off of, so just keep an eye on it. So, and the other 3 stocks I already covered, guys. So if you enjoyed this video, guys, make sure you like it. If you want me to cover any of the stocks that you guys are watching, make sure you drop in the comment section below. Also, I'm planning to show you guys exactly trading these penny stocks, buying, selling them, showing you guys also options trading, showing you guys exactly my portfolio and things like that. So if you're interested in that, if we get to 250 likes, guys, I'm going to show you guys exactly buying these stocks, trading these stocks, specifically the stocks that I'm watching and things like that. I'm going to be covering it on the next video, guys. So if you have any questions, as I always, make sure you drop in the comment section below, but I'll catch you guys on the next video, guys. So peace out. Thanks.